Hello.
Hello, Mr. Walter Finley. How are you doing today, sir? The two of you, you're everywhere anymore. I mean, the last time I talked with you guys, you were performing on a boat on Lake Norman just to keep people entertained during the lockdown.
That was, that was an amazing experience. I never saw all that happening. I never saw that going the way it did, but I guess the pandemic had us doing things, right, that we normally wouldn't have done. And it was a wonderful experience. We met a lot of wonderful people, and that went on for about 3 years. I think we're going to do another show in March or April, like an anniversary kind of thing. And then because of the boat show, I guess that's why we won those awards for Duo of the Year that year and the following year. And yeah, a lot of good came out of that for us.
Well, I always looked at it as being, because the more and more I read about it, I kept going, see, they put themselves out there for the people. Now the people are responding. This is the gift back to to your creativity, to your art, because you were there when others were not.
Yeah, it was, I don't know if what we talked about last time. It was kind of a fluke thing, but it was kind of a full circle moment for me, because the first time I played on the dock was because I needed to play. I mean, I performed for so many years and I wasn't performing, and Bagiti Kumalo, he was on that Call Me Now song.
Yes, yeah.
Call Me, yeah. And I turned around, we were getting ready, and he goes, some people don't understand me, I love coming out to play with you, but because you're a good player and even good, but I just need to play. I need to keep playing. And I felt that same feeling that day, and I just set up to play. And there was a couple of boats in the water, and it was the end of March. And one boat came up and said, if you do this next week, we'll bring some friends. And from there, I couldn't not play, because boats would be waiting for us in front of our house every Wednesday from 6 to 8. We had to do it, and it ended up being an amazing, fun thing. And the friendships that will last the rest of my life came out of it. And April, too. By the way, I have April sitting right next to me.
Oh.
Hi.
Well, finally I get to talk with you.
I'm here.
I mean, because you guys really have set the world up as being that duo, and I mean, and it's a husband and wife duo. It's a creative team. The two of you together. What is the creative process like?
From my point of view, I'm not a very structured person. I can't just say, hey, let's just sit down. For some reason, to back up, I moved to the Carolinas to learn to be immersed in a culture that would enhance writing country music. Because I was asked to write country songs, and I always liked country in the 90s. I got turned on to country music, and I loved the 90s country sound. But I was living in New York, and I was surrounded by more progressive people and rock people and jazz. And
you were pretty much alone then. Well, April, what has it been like for you, especially with this new solo project?
For me, if I have a feeling of a sense of accomplishment, then I can go back to bed or take a little nap and then get up and go at my day really hard. So I find that my creativity and my thought processes are very clear between like 4 and 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
So when I'm putting those pieces of the puzzle together, okay, where do we want to tour next? How can I put this together? Where can I get from point A to point B to point C? How can I make everything fall into place? And it doesn't fall into place. You have to force that mess. I'm so not kidding.
I totally get that, because I've always believed that creativity is an addiction, and you've got to learn to work with it.
Well, when I was a full-time musician, right, or entertainer, let's put it that way, I get freaky with the word musician and artist. I think there's different lines there, but all I did was music all the time in the world. I mean, I lived alone. I had a place that was set up like a recording studio with a kitchen and a bathroom in it. So, I would wake up, work out, and just write music, and then go to work and perform and come home. But since the pandemic, right, I had to find other ways of bringing in money. So enter into the regular work world. So that would take up my whole day. So everything had to change from there on. I would come home from a job on a Wednesday, and there would be 50 boats outside saying, beeping their horns. I had to hurry up and set up all the equipment and start playing. Run in the house, wash off, and start playing.
I totally get that, because during the lockdown, because we're part of a movie promotion team, and we're out there doing with mobile entertaining and things like this, and as well as doing the radio, that I was craving people so much. I went and got a job at Harris Teeter because I needed to perform and I needed to be in front of people. And now it's like I love being with them so much I can't break free of it.
Right, and it's the reality, but so. The rhythm we're trying to get in now. And the other thing is everything we've been doing is in-house right now. So a lot of times people have booking agents and this and that. We do have management, but we've been doing our own booking. And last year, we got the country tour of the year this year from the Carolina Country Music Awards. Right. Yeah, and it was hard. It was so hard. We did so much. We went from coast to coast. So this year we're about to do it again. I mean, we got bookings out there far away, from Colorado to Utah to to Montana. New York again, Montana. But we'll get the list together and I'll try to get it out there as fast as I can. So I think the usual rhythm for touring musicians is, I think you work from like spring to fall, and then you usually take downtime to put music together, albums together and whatnot. So one of the things I used to do up in New York is summertime, I would kill it, but you don't spend your money, save your money, because when March comes, you're going to need it. So you learn how to budget and move forward that way. We have new records coming out in March. We have new songs coming out. I'm really excited about that. We have some meetings going on still as far as marketing. Right, and promotion. And then we have movie interest. So there's a movie in development right now that's taking the Fishing song, and it should be happening by the end of the year, if not early next year. We'll hear that and see that in a really cool film.
See, and I love the way that you guys are working it, because I'm blessed with the opportunity to talk with the Teslas of the world and these big bands that have had to do it on their own. And they've all agreed that this is such a great step for modern day music when you're doing it on your own. You've got your player that's going to do the promotions. You got another player that's going to be doing things for the web, then who's going to be doing the songs and shaking hands and kissing babies. And to hear your story like this, it's like, yes, this is where it's at, Walter and April.
Wow. Yeah.
Thank you.
That gave me a little shot of motivation. Yeah.
And then for you guys to tour the way that you are, it's not so easy to go marching into a town or to set things up. I mean, you guys have really got to press the flesh. I mean, are you guys having to rely on social media? Do they sit there and look at you and go, all right, what are your social media numbers? I need to know who would even know who you are here in Montana.
We do run into that, but I have to tell you, now going through all this, it's funny. We got a call from Billy Hume one day. He does YouTube shows. He wanted to do one on us. And he's like, Walter, I just want to tell you, you're not a kid. I go, yeah, I know. And I'm amazed at what you're doing and how you're keeping it going, the two of you. And the name of his show is going to be, If You Can't Find a Way, Make a Way.
Yep.
So I can't keep up with what April does. And one of the first things I told myself is, don't watch what she does on social media or things. Don't get involved unless I'm needed. So I let her have at it. And this is the surprise I got. For instance, we went to, where did we go up north?
To see the songs from the
Wisconsin. We went to Wisconsin, and the room got filled, and everybody knew who we were and what we were about, because April floods the area with social media with songs.
Oh, yeah.
And we a proper advertisement, and she talks to the owners of the establishment, and then they put it out there, and I was amazed at how well that worked. It really does work. So whether we have a lot of numbers or not, because anybody can get numbers. I hired a company one time, and I had all these followers, and when I looked at them, they were not followers; they were just numbers. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? They weren't
no, I get
really
it.
They were just numbers. So the numbers we have today are real organic fans that follow us.
So coming down from New York to learn how to do country music, which I don't know if you know the history of Charlotte, but a lot of country music was coming out of this area. They really wanted this to be the Nashville part of the world because there were, Arthur Smith was here. There were, Elvis played 54 times here. Everybody knew that Charlotte had that energy. Have you become a greater student since you made that decision?
It's been a personal growth for me. I've become a better man from moving down south.
Mm-hmm.
And, living in New York, and when I came down here, I went to Nashville once a month, every month, and that was a wonderful experience. It was great. And California, because I think something about the Carolina area is not so much about competition, is not such a strong thing, but it's like being a part of a big musical family.
Yeah.
Because everybody plays guitar, banjo, mandolin. It's a cultural thing. It's a slower pace thing. It's, country music to me, it was so hard because I had to slow down and simplify not only my life, but the way I wrote. Because I would always try to write more like the old Peter Gabriel Genesis style, something. And always challenge my intellect on my musical instrument. And hey, look what I'm doing. I'm bending my fingers in directions you never saw it go, and I'm making sounds. And I still have that in me. But coming down here, I learned the storytelling aspect of it. How to tell a story. Wow. The writers down here, man, I can listen to songs. They bring you into the song. They envelop you with your story, and you can weep or get motivated and really relate to what you're listening to, a story in a song. And I never understood 3 chords and the truth. Well, I'm understanding it now.
Mm-hmm.
How to fit your musical embellishments in between those verses and make a good sound. I'm getting there.
Now, April, for you, when it came to the music and with Walter, behind that gigantic control board, was it a new layer of trust because you're relinquishing a solo project into the hands of a man that will take your sound to a different level?
Oh, well, it's like this. Anytime that you work with someone, whoever wrote the song and wrote the lyrics, that's the one who has the major control. So if someone comes up with this idea to throw in this F major 12th chord in the middle of nothing where it doesn't belong, then whoever wrote the song says, no, I don't like that, or yes, we can keep that. It's all about having a project that you both can agree on that is something that can touch people, because at the end of the day, you want to give someone something of your heart. You want to give them something that's going to make their life better.
Yeah. I totally get that because I was reading up about Sia. So nobody records a Sia song unless she's in the studio with you.
But yeah, as far as creativity goes, we're both kind of open to ideas from each other because with Walter wanting to do the country aspect and me growing up in bluegrass and country, we kind of respect each other's opinions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
It's just now, after almost 5 years, it's just now coming around to the sounds and going with the times as far as what's popular right now without going country pop because, it has to represent us. And it has to be marketable, and it has to be something that's going to give love. Because when you put music out, you're giving of your heart.
Yeah, one of the things that I've run into lately in talking with country musicians is that there for a long time it was new country. Yeah, I'm doing new country. Now musicians are saying this isn't new country. This is my country. This is about storytelling. This is about creating not a pop song but rather greater country.
Wow, that's exactly what I think. I think I've had this thing that I believed in for many years, and that was, this is my interpretation of this song, And a lot of times I got more compliments than negativity from people saying, wow, you don't really play it like the record, but we can sing along. Exactly. This is how I play, and it helped. I would, when I do a cover song, let's say if I'm covering somebody's song, that's what I do. I kind of learn it real quick, and then I just start playing it and put my own feeling into it. My sound, my style. These are the chords I use, right? This is how I do it.
Oh,
as far as working together with April, backing up a little bit, it's funny because we had a problem communication wise, because she is so phenomenal at what she does, and I only know how to do what I do.
Yeah.
So I would take her rhythm and vocal and build a sound around it the way I like, what I think. Isn't that great? And I'm alive with it. And then it might take a couple months. She goes, yeah, maybe if you didn't put those bells and whistles in it, or if you didn't put that in it, we're learning how to communicate to find out what she likes. But I think, and I have had friends that come up to me, don't even need to make a production. You should just do acoustic guitar and sing that's good enough. And I'm also planning on doing just an acoustic record where we just, play our music with our guitars and sing. And another beautiful thing that's been happening is that we're starting to hear each other so much after a few years that we're starting to play together. And that's the coolest thing ever.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. Where can people go to find out more about you guys? Because, you got to get the word out there. You really do. Just keep pushing it.
Thank you.
Well, we have our Facebook music plate, Walter Finley Music. Spotify is one of the best place, I think, or anywhere you listen to music. But if people would just, what do they call that when they subscribe? Right. If they can subscribe to it. And we have the website. We're going to start revamping that, over the next few days and get that current. It's so funny with Facebook and all the social media. It's like I don't even pay attention to the website anymore because there's just so much to take care of, right? From Twitter to Instagram to Facebook,
TikTok,
YouTube. We're thinking about doing YouTube. I've always wanted to do a YouTube show, but we were, I guess, apprehensive about putting our lives like in a reality concept on a YouTube. How to do that. There's a lot entailed, but we're playing with that idea. We don't know if that would be good or not. But
I think to find out more about us, WCNC Charlotte.
Yes.
We did a Zoom interview with them, and it can be found on their YouTube channel. So there's that. And then they also shared it with MSN, and it was on the news, I think Channel 8 and Channel 2. One of them was in Long Island, and the other one was in California, Santa Ana. So I think that it's getting out there, Arrow, and I think that people are seeing that there's perseverance involved, and we just feel like we have a responsibility that, we want people to get out there and live their life and make good memories on purpose, and that's what music kind of gives you.
Yep. You talk about the YouTube, and I got to tell you, Paul Stanley of Kiss had one of the greatest quotes when he would do the live performances. He would go, listen, what I'm going to perform today is what I'm feeling right now. It may not be what you heard in the studio, but it's what I feel right now. So I'm just going to share it with you, and we're going to go from there. And I thought, my God, that was very human of him to say that.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what it is. When you're performing like you needed to be around people, we're not alone when we're performing. I do see people who go up there and they just automatically play and say the same thing on every single show and everything they do exactly scripted out, and then they leave, right? But then there's the people who mingle with and communicate with their audience, right? So I can make a set list, but if they're not feeling what's about to come, I'll play something else. Depends how that. There's a mood. There's an energy. That's there's like a neuro connection between you and your audience, whether it's 2 or 2,000 people, or that's what you're feeling and feeding off of. Wow. And so I'm playing what we're feeling right now, or what I'm getting out of this moment. So I don't usually play the same exact solos. I kind of do. I kind of develop because we do a looping thing, right? We'll play a rhythm, we'll sing, I'll do a solo. Maybe with my wah-wah, distortion, clean, or lay or something. Then it could be different every time.
Yeah. You guys have got to come back to the show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
That's great. Thanks.
Excellent. Well, you be brilliant, the two of you, okay?
And you too.
Bye, guys.